Everyone, welcome to LigNet. I'm John Bachman. Right now we're talking to Itamar Rabinovich. He served as the Israeli ambassador to the United States and as Israel's chief negotiator with Syria during the 1990s. Currently, he is a distinguished fellow at the Brookings Institution. Thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure.
I also would like to expand out and talk a little bit more about the prospect of Mideast peace talks between the Arabs and the Israelis. There had been at least maybe perhaps the slightest glimmer of hope with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu working quietly to curb settlement expansion. What was your take on this?
Actually, he is doing it tacitly. It's not a publicly stated policy, but in practice, he is limiting settlement expansion in consideration of Kerry's mission. I'm not very optimistic about the mission because looking at the Palestinian political system with the Prime Minister resigning, Abbas fairly weak, the division between Fatah in the West Bank and United States perceived in the region as a country that is reducing its profile, lowering its profile. I'm doubtful that the quest for a final status agreement is feasible right now.
And, obviously it takes two leaders with some strength to come to the negotiating table with both sides here. With the Palestinian, with their governmental situation in such disarray right now, is there any other, anybody else from the Arab side that you see emerging, maybe coming to the table who might be a partner for peace in this process?
Jordan wants to play a role, and Jordan is relevant to the Palestinian issue. Jordan has at least half of its population is Palestinian, and it is a neighboring country, and it wants to play a role. Of course, it cannot substitute for the Palestinians, but it can be of help. Unfortunately, Egypt is so preoccupied with domestic problems that it is paralyzed as a regional power. And the wealthy Gulf states, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, countries that use mostly their financial clout, are more in a position of trying to buy influence with money than by exerting direct influence. So it is mostly Jordan that can be called upon, and that in itself is good, but not enough.
Yes, in Jordan, like everywhere else, has been kind of somewhat marginalized by the regional conflict, and I should say the civil war in Syria and other problems in the region. So, in other words, not much hope at this point for those folks trying to read into anything the behavior of Benjamin Netanyahu as perhaps a signal towards peace.
No, I think he would like to move on. I don't think he's ready at this point to go the distance for a final status agreement, but he would like to move on. Of course, the difficulty is that he would be very happy to make an interim agreement, but the Palestinian leadership is adamantly opposed to that. And Kerry's challenge, I think, would be to build an agenda that reconciles these two positions and finding ways of moving forward, even if a final status agreement, his ambitious goal, is not within reach right now.
Yeah, so difficult as it has been so many times before. Itamar Rabinovich, thank you for being with us, talking to us from Tel Aviv right now. A pleasure talking with you, sir.
You're most welcome. Thank you.